I remember like at the beginning of our relationship, like in 2009. So that was a year after you and I got together. And we brought in my sister passed and we took on her kids. And I remember having to humble myself. Like, because I've always been that independent woman where I pay my own bills.
That used to drive me fucking crazy.
I like it's all about me. Like it just was like
you always had to make your own money.
Yeah.
You always had like you couldn't. And I'm like, hey, we're fucking in this together.
Yeah.
We're in this together. Like, you know, yeah.
Allowing like a man's never paid my bills.
Yeah.
And so when we got the kids on, there was just so much going on, and my business, I had to put it on hold, and allowing you to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I think with the whole shift of everything that was going on and everything that was happening, being able to trust you 100% and allowing myself to love you 100%, like allowing myself to fall in love with you 100%.
Yeah.
Was even a challenge because I've always had my walls up, always.
Yeah.
And being able to just self-reflect and realize like you've been the one. Like you've been the one. Not to allow, my exes to be able to I always had to control everything. That's what it was. I had to control because then I would know the outcome.
Yeah. I think for you in our relationship, it took you a while. And I don't think that what you were doing was wrong in the beginning of our relationship. Like you have to protect yourself because I could just be some fucking shit show that shows up on your door and says a lot of cool shit and tricks you and then fucking takes off.
Right.
You know? So in the beginning of a relationship, I think you got to protect yourself. But there's a point where a person proves themselves and you can see their true intentions. And then you kind of got to be like, all right, well, I get it. And you have to, and at a certain point, it's kind of like falling in love.
Why'd you have to be a jerk when you said that?
At a certain point, you have to take a risk.
Man, it took me a long time to take that risk. Yeah, it took me a long time to give in, to take that risk, and to move forward.
Jesus Christ, this podcast has shifted
of my
to the
big
other side.
Ego, she-go, and just everything. I mean, there was a lot that I had to work on. But in order for me to get to where we are today, I had to look at the hard truths. I had to take responsibility because I was creating the environment. I was creating the self-doubt. I was creating, and it all stemmed back to my childhood.
Yeah.
And it took me forever to figure that crap out.
Yeah.
It took a lot of, it took a lot of losing. Like, seriously.
And you know what? Because you were allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
Right.
And when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, a lot of people may think that that's a sign of weakness.
Right.
When in fact, it's a sign of strength. It's a sign of strength because you're strong enough in yourself to let go or to let somebody else.
Right.